Anne Marie, the CDC director, this week expressed concerns that people aren't being vigilant enough. And we're close, but we're not quite there. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We're seeing that actually at the community level and the state level by the increase in numbers that we're seeing.
What should people do and for how much longer?
How much longer is really hard to say. A lot depends on how many people get vaccinated, what the course of the COVID, how it goes and the impact. But what's happened, I think, is people are tired. It's been over a year. They know that the state is starting to open things up. And what's happening is we're finding that people aren't being as vigilant. They're not wearing their mask all the time. They are socializing with more people. The numbers that we're really seeing impacted are school kids. We're seeing, teens and younger that are, I can't say the majority of our case, but if they're not at 50%, they're probably pretty close. And that has to do with parents are letting their kids go out. The kids are going in groups. They're not wearing their masks. They're doing sleepovers. They're doing birthday parties. All these social activities because they're feeling more comfortable. And what's happening is with the variant, which seems to make things more infectious, we're seeing higher numbers.
North Attleboro was recently #1 in the state as far as school reported cases. What I found interesting, not all school systems report the numbers the same way,
Right.
So
Right.
it's a little bit misleading, but
Yes.
the important thing to note, these aren't in-school transmissions. That's not what is being counted.
Right, exactly. And really, North Attleboro is right there as far as reporting, and that really does skew things. So it might look like our numbers are higher, but we're actually reporting. So, and we've had some high numbers, but the majority of the cases with the kids are not in school transmission. We had one instance that we think there may have been some in classroom transmission, but the school immediately took action. The nurse leader, we quarantined everybody so that we're not seeing any additional spread within the school or other classrooms. And as a matter of fact, the number of cases in kids in the schools this week, I was talking to Missy Badger, the nurse leader, and was only 6. So that's great.
Take the ELC, for example, and I want to stress this so people understand. Children of that age go to the ELC, they're more than likely going to a daycare facility before or after, sometime during the week. The schools might be following protocols 100%, and that's the case at the ELC. They go somewhere else, they're not, and everyone thinks they got it at the ELC.
Right, exactly. And plus that population, they don't wear masks, they're all over each other. So you have a higher risk of transmission. If there is someone in that class, it's really hard. It will impact, and that's why they do the policies. That's why they do the quarantining and all the extra cleaning and things like that. But while we have seen definitely cases in the daycares, we're seeing most of them in the elementary, middle, and high school.
Vaccines in the arms. Progress is being made on a daily basis. It seems like every day there's a new record as to how many vaccinations were given in that single day. The president this past week said by the middle of April, 90% of the population, I believe, should be able to get the vaccine.
Well, that seems very optimistic, I have to say. I like it. But just from what we are seeing, it's optimistic. But I actually was on a conference call yesterday with the state, and they were showing they didn't quite double the amount of vaccine that they're getting for this next week, but probably at least an extra third additional doses. Plus, we've also heard that FEMA is giving the state additional doses. These aren't ones that we were already allotted. This is on top of what our state was allotted, so they're going to be doing additional vaccinations. It's just getting people out there. We're opening up the categories, so it does make it a challenge for people. Every time we open it up to more people, that's more numbers. So I know sometimes people get frustrated if they're patient, I would say absolutely within this next month, most people should be able to get a vaccination if they want one.
Am I being too optimistic? But I look at schools shutting down for the summer, that many more vaccinations in the arms, and good weather, so people will be outdoors. It won't be back to normal this summer, but it should be a heck of a lot better. Am I being too optimistic?
You know what? I'm right there with you. That's definitely what I want to see. Last June, we had the best numbers that we had in the year. And schools were closed. It was before we had the group holidays, the 4th of July. We're waiting to see how April vacation, how that happens in the next 2 weeks after that. That'll give us a good indication of where people are at, if they truly are hearing the message and understanding. It's too soon. It's too soon to give up all these extra things. Yes, certainly do more, but maintain those precautions, wear the masks, keep that social distancing, and just be careful, wash your hands, do all those great public health initiatives.
I never close out our interviews by saying this, but I should. I always thank you for the interview, but thank you for all you've done during this pandemic. It's been exhausting, I would assume.
It is, but it's a team, really. I have a lot of people backing me up. I have the nurses who are doing actually the case follow-ups. Judy Aubin, Margaret Vigorito, Mary Jubert, and Trish, I just do a blank on the name, but they are the team really that is behind why we're able to keep on top of the cases, follow up with people, and give them the right guidance.
Well, once again, thank you to not only yourself, but that entire team.
Thank you.